طول عمري بشوف إنه شيء غريب، إزاي قطاع زي صناعة الأدوية يبقى قطاع هادف للربح؟ هل ده معناه إن معادلة المكسب والخسارة بتتحكم في قرار إنتاج أي علاج، حتى علاج السرطان؟
They wanted to put me to prison and they wanted to steal some of my patents.
A lot of people believe that there's a cure for cancer, but it's not true.
ليه الأفكار بتنتشر حتى لما يكون عندنا أدلة ضدها؟
There is a cure for cancer, and that's been known about for a long time.
Has crashed into one of the towers.
It's a very provocative subject that allows folks to gain followers.
You could make a fortune if you had a cure for cancer.
If they discovered it a single person, that's a different story.
هل ده معناه علشان يتربحوا أكتر ممكن يقفوا ضد اكتشاف جديد لعلاج رخيص وفعال لمرض السرطان؟
أنا إنسان، وبالتالي جوايا خوف دفين من الموت. خوف من موتي أنا إلى حد ما، وخوف من موت اللي بحبهم إلى أبعد الحدود. من فترة حد عزيز عليا تم تشخيصه بمرض السرطان، والموت بقى احتمال وارد، وده دفعني أبحث بشكل مهموم عن أي علاج ممكن يساعد الشخص العزيز ده. ولقيت كلام كتير، كلام عن علاجات غير تقليدية في ناس بيدعوا إن تم شفائهم بيها، وكلام عن علاجات تقليدية فعالة قادرة إنها تقضي على المرض اكتشفتها شركات الأدوية، بس قررت إنها تخفيها عشان تفضل تتربح من استمرارية المرض وتعمل مليارات الدولارات كل سنة من علاجه. يعني ملخص الادعاء ده إنه مش من مصلحة شركات الأدوية إن يكون في علاج نهائي للسرطان، تقليدي أو غير تقليدي، عشان الربح. بس ادعاء بالحجم ده مش تشكيك في شركة أو اتنين، ده تشكيك في المجتمع الطبي بأكمله ومنظومة صناعة الأدوية كلها. وده اتهام خطير جدا محتاج فحص ودراسة وبراهين. وفي وسط بحثي قابلت شخصية مثيرة للجدل، دكتور ستانيسلاف بورزينسكي، أحد الدكاترة اللي ادعوا إن هم قدموا علاج للسرطان خارج المنظومة الطبية التقليدية، والمنظومة دي بيدعي إنها حاربته.
In 5 of the patients with brain tumors, the tumor disappeared. It's impressive and unbelievable.
It says here that you have been successfully curing cancer since the 1980s.
Well, yes, we are specializing in treatment of terminal cancer. We see people coming to us from all over the world, and the main thing is that they were told by their doctors that there's nothing that can be done for them. The cause of cancer are mutated genes, from about 80 to 650 mutated genes, which form a program which tells the body how to make cancer. We are identifying these genes and we treat them. And the medications which I discovered, they are able to treat over 150 common genes. And you can get rid of tumors and patients can live happy ever after.
Sounds like you basically cured cancer. Can you tell me what was the response of the medical community to your treatment?
I went through something like 35 years of quote-unquote war with very powerful organizations. So they wanted to put me to prison for 270 years so they can steal my patents. And finally, about 4 years ago, we won, and I believe that we are beginning a peaceful millennium. The question is, who is the discoverer? If discoverer will be one of the largest pharmaceutical company, then it will go right away. If the discoverer is a single person who came to the United States with $5 of his possessions and built his own research center, pharmaceutical factory, and a clinic, well, that's a different story.
سنة 2012 كان في أكتر من 1,000,000 حالة وفاة بسبب مرض السرطان في العالم العربي. وطبقاً لمنظمة الصحة العالمية، الدول العربية هتشوف زيادة 80% في الإصابات بالسرطان بين سنة 2020 و2030. ملايين مصيرهم مرتبط بوجود علاج فعال للسرطان. العلاج اللي بيدعي البعض إنه موجود بالفعل وتم التكتيم عليه في مؤامرة أقل ما يقال عنها إنها ضخمة لدرجة إن في ناس بتقول إن من ضخامة المؤامرة مش ممكن تفضل سر الوقت طويل. واحد من الناس دول هو ديفيد روبرت جرايمز، باحث في أمراض السرطان.
Do you think there is a cover-up to hide an effective cure for cancer?
A lot of people believe that there's a cure for cancer being suppressed by big pharma because they'd lose all the money that they get treating people. And they'll postulate all sorts of strange things they claim cure cancer that aren't profitable for big pharma. It's a nice story, but it's not true. Cancer isn't one disease. Cancer is a family of over 200 known diseases, some of which respond to radiation, some respond to chemotherapy. They're all very different because they're all mutations of different types of cells. So the idea of a single magic bullet for cancer is a bit misguided. Secondly, you could make a fortune if you had a cure for cancer. Half the people in the world will eventually get cancer. If you're selling something to half the people in the world, it's highly profitable. And you can, absolutely.
I'm sorry, can I just interrupt you there? Did you just say that half of the people of the world will eventually get cancer?
Essentially, if you live long enough, you roll a genetic dice. Every day you live, you roll a little chance of getting cancer. If you live long enough, your odds on getting cancer go up. It's not that the world is becoming more carcinogenic. We're getting cancer because we're living longer.
I must say, I like the fact that you use statistics to support your argument. From that perspective, if there is indeed a conspiracy to hide a cure for a variety of cancers, how long will it take the world before such a conspiracy is uncovered?
I actually looked a few years ago at the probability of being able to keep huge conspiracies quiet. I also looked at cancer. And when I crunched through the mathematics of that, at best, if everyone was on board the conspiracy theory, there are so many people you would need. Everyone who works in drug development for cancer, everyone who treats cancer from an oncological point of view, and pretty much everyone in the pharmaceutical industry. That goes to millions of people before you do too much effort. That even if everyone was as good a secret keeper as the National Security Agency in America, you would at best get maybe 2 or 3 years before the whole thing was out of the bag.
In the face of such a mathematical impossibility, why does such a narrative persist for so many years?
I think this is a story that people tell themselves to give themselves a feeling of power. But I think all the evidence is so blazingly against it.
ليه الأفكار بتنتشر حتى لما يكون عندنا أدلة ضدها؟ لأن ساعات انتشار الأفكار بيبقى أسهل من إننا نواجه الحقيقة. قصدك تقول إنه كسل يعني؟ ساعات بيبقى كسل، وساعات تانية بيبقى عشان نتلهي في أي حاجة نحس إنها أكبر من قدرتنا على إننا نغيرها. كسل يعني.
الحكاية بتأثر على دماغك أكيد. معلومات كتير في منها صح وغلط.
إنه الخلايا السرطانية تعيش على السكر، يعني غذائها الرئيسي هو السكر.
I'm going to start treating it with cannabis oil.
وناس عارفة هي بتقول إيه، وناس غيرهم مش عارفين حاجة بس بيشاركوا بعاطفة. لكن الحقائق مش اختيار تقدر تغيره زي بدلة هتلبسها. بعد ما كلمت جرايمز قريت له مقالة بيوصف فيها نظرية المؤامرة بتاعة العلاج الخفي لمرض السرطان إنها نظرية زومبي، يعني نظرية ما بتموتش رغم أي محاولة لقتلها. يمكن الناس بتؤمن بالنظريات دي لأنها فقد الثقة في المنظومة، أو علشان عايزين يتمسكوا بالأمل، خصوصاً المرضى نفسهم. عشان أفهم أكتر كان لازم أكلم حد مر بالتجربة دي ويقول لي ليه الوهم ده بيعيش. لقيت جلين سافن اللي بعد ما تعافى من المرض قرر إنه يبقى مدرب أو كوتش لمرضى السرطان.
Why do you think the rumor of a cancer cure cover-up is so pervasive?
I think it's two parts. One is that it's a very provocative subject that allows folks to gain followers to, communicate about these various kind of conspiracy theories. So the other issue, it's the lack of education on the part of patients who are just not seeking their knowledge from the most reputable sources. It's not to say that there's bad actors in pharma. There certainly have been, but if there's cancer cures, then they would be out there and available to the public.
Some people say that the medication for cancer, like chemotherapy and radiotherapy, are as toxic as the disease itself.
One of the things that folks that maybe align with this conspiracy thinking have to do with the fact that different chemotherapeutics, different drugs, and radiation oncology creates a pro-cancer environment. It's really important for the host, the patient that's undergoing these therapies, to be well protected. There's a lot of things that patients can do to get through these toxicities with less of these terrible side effects and even potentially reducing the long-term side effects. That is not communicated as well as it should be.
So what can you tell me about cancer cure research? Is there an effective cure in sight?
There is a cure for cancer, and that cure has been known about for a long time. And that's called prevention. Healthy, clean eating, movement, stress reduction, restorative sleep, being aware of your environment. All these things play a major factor in allowing cancer to present itself.
الكلام اللي قاله جلان معناه إن ممكن الوقاية من السرطان باتباع أسلوب حياة صحي يساعد في تجنب المرض عامةً. وده غير الوصفات الغريبة اللي بيدعي البعض إنها بتوصل لنفس الهدف.
A third of cancers can actually be prevented by healthy lifestyle behaviors that we do have control over.
Dip half a lemon in baking soda. This combination is effective in the ongoing struggle against cancer.
Easy anti-cancer protocol, and that is the baking soda and maple syrup.
وده غير الناس اللي طلعوا بتفسيرات غريبة عن مسببات السرطان نفسه. قررت أرجع تاني لديفيد وأسأله عنها.
Hey, David, I need to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. They're concerning the cancer cure claims. Some people claim that cancer is a fungus and they can cure it with sodium bicarbonate. Is that true?
Cancer is most definitely not a fungus. You can look at cancer cells under a microscope. They are very much human. Cancer is you, just a really warped version of you. It is not a fungus, which is an entirely different species. So the idea that you can treat cancer like it's a fungus is unfortunately incredibly misguided and can harm patients.
I read also once that there was this woman who claimed that she cured her cancer by daily injections of vitamin C.
Linus Pauling won 2 Nobel Prizes, one in chemistry and one as a Peace Prize. And in the 70s, he became obsessed with the idea that vitamin C could cure the cold, that it could cure cancer, that it could cure AIDS, everything. The problem is he was wrong. But because he was so famous and well-renowned, this has become a myth that won't die. Unfortunately, vitamin C does not cure cancer. In fact, vitamin C doesn't even work for colds.
So these are the myths of the cures. There are other myths of the causes, like some people claim that deodorants and microwave ovens can cause cancer.
The X-rays, the gamma rays, they have the ability to ionize. What that means is they can remove an electron from your chemical bonds. And when they do that, that can cause damage to your DNA, which can eventually become cancer. But the lower energy forms of light, like visible light and microwave, cannot do that. It doesn't have the ability to ionize. So it doesn't cause cancer. Now, do deodorants cause cancer? Well, this has been studied quite a bit too. And most of the data, in fact, all of the solid data we have on this says no, they do not.
So basically, you make it sound as if there is no healthy diet or lifestyle that can actually protect you from cancer.
If you have a healthy diet, if you're not obese, if you're not drinking too much, alcohol, for example, is a carcinogen. Obviously, if your general health is good, you're rolling that dice of causing harm a little bit less. But again, we have to remember that cancer is largely probabilistic. You can live the healthiest, purest lifestyle and still get cancer.
أكيد في مؤامرات كتير في العالم، وفي ساعات ناس مشكوك في أمرها بتتجمع وتخطط من ورا الستار. بس أي ادعاء بوجود مؤامرة بدون دليل علمي واضح بيفضل كلام في الهوا. ومع إن في عدد لا نهائي من الأوهام اللي ممكن تتصدق، في دايماً حقيقة واحدة، حقيقة وحيدة. في مصر القديمة السما بالنهار كان بيبقى اسمها النوت، وبالليل كان بيبقى اسمها موت. وفي ناس بتقول إن ده مصدر كلمة موت بالعربي ومورتم باللاتيني. الموت في مصر زمان كان له معنى تاني، معنى له دعوة بالغروب، وده معناه إن في شروق بعد كده. وحتى عندنا في القرآن ربنا بيقول الله يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده، ودي في نظري هي الحقيقة الوحيدة في الحياة.